Let's go.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. We had technical difficulties, but we're here. People's mics work, people's cameras work, but do our fantasy lineups work? Willie Wallace, 6 teams on by, my friend. Is this a crappy slate or a good one?
I think it's a great slate because we got a chance to do some things different because a lot of talk is on the Ravens and Detroit game, and I'm not on that game like everybody else is.
Interesting. Swame, are you on some of the chalky Zach Evans type of pieces?
I'm not mad at Zach Evans, but it's not a great matchup. It's a lot of risk. I did watch some film on him. He's all right, but it is. I don't know, Doc, if he's a free square yet.
Well, considering they mentioned Darrell Henderson, they mentioned Myles Gaskin, they mentioned, Eric Dickerson, they mentioned, a bunch of guys there. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's kick it off. Atlanta, Tampa. I'll just ask you this. Any interest in this game? Any interest in certain players, Willie?
No, thank you.
All right, that was simple. Swami, Rashad White, can I introduce you to little Drake London?
I think I got some interest in Drake London. I think that him and Ritter's got a little something going on. I think he's got a decent matchup. If anybody in the game does, it's probably Drake London. I think he's somebody I got some interest in.
Well, I have no interest in this game. I can see a pathway to Rashad White only because he gets a million touches, but I don't like it.
Tampa's games are averaging 35 points per game. No, thank you.
Giants, Commanders. Your Commanders, Willie. Howell's been better than we all thought. Logan Thomas wet the bed last week. Maybe he's due. Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. Giants have Wan'Dale. They got Saquon. Are you interested in this game?
Yes, I am interested in this game. This game, now, as long as the weather holds out, as long as there's no wind or anything like that. But I'm definitely interested in Mr. Howell. Definitely interested in him. A lot of people are poo-pooing this game. The reason I like this game because it could go two ways. It might score 9 points, or what I think is going to happen, there's going to be some turnovers, some sacks, some short fields, and this game might be 28 to 29 or something like that. So I definitely got interest in this game. I got interest in this game from you could do McLaurin, you could do Samuel, and then you come back with Barkley. You can come back with Robinson. So it's different ways that you can stack this game.
Swami, are you with Willie on this one? I feel like there's a lot of moving parts in this game. Wan'Dale Robinson, Barkley, Darren. I feel like it's not condensed, that I don't know exactly where it's coming from per se.
I think I'm probably leaning towards agreeing with Willie. I think it's just enough fantasy interest here. Do we know if Daniel Jones is going to be in the lineup this week or not?
He's not going to play. I don't think he plays.
I would even add the fact that, you could see something with Taylor and maybe a Slayton or Robinson and coming back with a McLaurin. Because of these prices, I just feel like Scary Terry is definitely a man of interest. What he's done against the Giants, his last 5 games, the way that New York, have been giving up, and the way that the Commanders have been giving it up, I don't see how you're not interested here. Yeah, we might not know, if Barkley is going to have, I think, one of those, at his price, but I think everybody else is in play at their prices.
I mean, there's a lot of great plays here, and if you check it out, you'll see that, is it Wan'Dale who has a terrific matchup? I mean, he's got a prime matchup. The question is, the Commanders get beat on those deep plays. Wan'Dale's not that deep guy. Do we like Hyatt at 3,000? Do we like Slayton?
I think Slayton is definitely a man of interest.
But I still like Robinson though still. Because one thing Taylor does is he get that ball to Robinson. They got a little connection there. I like that connection that they have. And anybody that gets the ball running as well as pass catching against the Commanders is I am interested in.
All right, so we've got the Raiders against the Bears. We got Brian Hoyer as the likely quarterback against Tyson Bagent. Does this take Devontae Adams out of play? Does this take Josh Jacobs and move him in play? Do we like DJ Moore? Because there's some big play guys here. But I wonder, Swame, whether or not, Adams is going to be calling for the ball, but can Hoyer deliver?
Doc, I'll be honest. I got mixed emotions about this game. I don't know if I'm interested in any side. I've been seeing Adams showing up, but Hoyer is terrifying. He scares me. So I don't know about if I have a lot of confidence in him. Again, I told you guys last week that Jacobs, even when he shows up, I cannot get with his 7 fantasy point ceiling. So for that reason, as they say on Shark Tank, I'm out.
There we go, Willie. Look, Adams is angry because he's not getting the ball, but they're winning. Do they have to feed the beast?
Yeah, I think Adams. I'm going to have Adams in a couple of lineups because anytime that squeaky wheel, and Chicago is terrible against the pass, So I think Adams, and I think Hoyer. I think he's experienced enough to know how to get him the ball. But the guy I'm still interested in mostly, and regardless, because the process is good. The Bears defense suck. I think anybody that gets the ball 26 to 28 times, I'm gonna have interest in. I'm gonna have interest in Mr. Jacobs. So I don't care what happened last week. I don't go by last week. This is a different week. He has a great matchup. I think it's gonna be short fields. In this game, I like the Raiders defense. I'm not playing the defense because I think they're too expensive. But for season long, I love the Raiders defense in this matchup.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like, what about Michael Mayer, guys? He actually showed up last week. I think, is he going to be the flavor of the week? Is he going to be the Tutti Frutti or the Rocky Road? Swami, are you in on him?
I don't think so. It's been too much inconsistency. It's the same thing with Jacobs. I get what Willie's saying, and sometimes you want to go right back to a guy. But like I said, 9 points, 11 points, 11 points. It wasn't just last week. All season, he just hasn't been getting it done with those touches, and that's why I'm not interested in him. Mayer, you're not even really sure if was that just an anomaly last week? What are we really looking at? Then with the Bears, we're not really sure who's going to be in that backfield. It's just too much inconsistency across the entire game. And that's why I said, no, thank you. I'll let Willie have it.
All right, Buffalo's playing New England. Willie, I can't imagine how Josh Allen is not in everybody's line of sight. Stephon Diggs kills man-to-man defenses. I mean, I know what people will say, and I'll be the first person saying it, that Belichick wants to double team him, but Diggs has done very well against the Patriots the last few times they've played. Do you like this game? Do you like the Bills? I know you don't like any Patriots.
No, I beg to differ. I'm not big on this game, but I think Diggs definitely is a man of interest. Anytime he does well against his team, but I'm not going to be playing too much Allen. I get it. I think it's going to be falling kind of short. It's one of those, it's one of those divisional games. But Bourne, the reason Bourne is interested, they're short. They're short on receivers. Okay, and they're going to be behind. And the reason he's interested, listen, you saw what happened in that Jacksonville game. They were 16 to 22. They caught 16 to 22 targets. Those receivers. So without Shadarius White, they play different defensively. That's why I think Bourne would be a man of interest here. But of course, you got Diggs. But like I said, I get it. And Diggs has good games, 100-yard games against them in both games. But I'm not as interested in Josh Allen as you might be. I'm not as interested in him, but I get it.
Swami, are you interested in this game? Because Alicia loves Josh Allen. Alicia's won $1 million before. I get where Willie's coming from, and you're going to pay through the nose for Diggs. Do you like Gabe Davis? Any pieces out here?
First of all, shout out to Alicia. She's continuing to hunt for $1 million. I love her picks. I love the way she plays. I do have some interest, just like Alicia, and I would say in Allen and Diggs. I agree with Walls. So I'm kind of talking out the other side of my neck. I agree with Walls that this is one of those tough divisional games traditionally. I don't know about this New England team, though. This New England team has been cheeks. Both sides of the ball, they haven't played well. So we don't know who's going to show up. We don't know if they're going to even compete this game. At some point, we're expecting for the Belichick, New England Patriots to show up, and they just haven't. In the last couple of games, it's been even worse. So what I'm saying I agree with Willie is if you play Diggs or Allen, I think you will come back with Bourne. But I would not be mad if you just stayed away from this game because of the prices. And we're not sure of a ceiling game. This could be one of those, like Willie said, more of a slugfest. They might have some, some decent numbers, but just not the kind where they take the top off of those prices.
Just so you know, Prize Picks has Josh Allen at a 20.5, and they have Diggs at 19. Those are big numbers. Big. 19 is, for a receiver, 13 is a good number, right? So 19 is pretty high. So they're high on them. All right, let's get to Cleveland against Indianapolis. There's a chance that Deshaun Watson may be playing. I think he's supremely underrated. Jerome Ford, I think, is flying under radars. Amari Cooper's flying under radars. Njoku's flying under radars. Willie, can you get behind the Browns, or do you like Jonathan Taylor? Do you like Pittman? What's your thoughts here?
First of all, I'm not playing nobody against that Cleveland defense. No, thank you. Against that one. I'm not, and I mean, I'm not playing nobody against them. Now, on the other side, it's interesting. All you've heard is Watson is this, Watson that. I've been hearing him crying and complaining, but you know what? It might not be a bad little thing, to have a Watson, Amari Cooper, pairing in this game. This game will be very contrarian, and this is how sometimes this might be one of those games that you might do something. I mean, listen, like I said, it's not going to be my core, but I do have interest in a couple of pieces in this game, and I think Ford is the man of interest too. Ford and I think Cooper are the ones. If I had to play anybody in this game, that would be who I will play for Cleveland.
He'd override stack in this game. What about you, Swame? Are you stacking this game?
I don't think so. I think both of these defenses are tough. I think the Colts play a little bit better at home. I think they'll probably kind of slow it down and take the air out the ball, and we'll see a lot of maybe Moss and Taylor. I don't think they're going to turn it over to Gardner after some of his mistakes. I'll just say that over his last couple of games. So I think this game will probably be low scoring. I'm not mad at Cooper though. I think Cooper might be in a good spot, but I don't like this for a full stack. I think Willie hit it on the head with it's a piece. If you like a piece here, you kind of go with that. Maybe you go with a piece coming back, but not a stack.
All right. Willie made mention that he doesn't like the Detroit-Baltimore game. So let's talk about this game. You can't run on the Lions. Lions' run defense has been good. It's hard to throw on the Lions, but let me just throw this out. Lamar's a mobile quarterback. The Lions have not seen many mobile quarterbacks this year. I say to myself, can Lamar get his 60 yards, maybe find the end zone? Can he throw for 220 and a touchdown? If he starts doing those things, Willie, we might be seeing that Lamar Jackson 25, 26 games. And then on the other side, Jahmyr Gibbs. Dan Campbell is going to go to him this week. There's no other choices. There's Netflix, okay? And he's not that good. So where are you with this game? Will you play any of it?
Yeah, I mean, I might do a Lamar, Flowers, St. Brown, but it's not my favorite. I'm telling you, I'm underweight on this game. This game, a lot of people are going to be playing Lamar and Andrews. Okay, that's what they're going. This is the sack that they're going to play. They're going to play Lamar and Andrews. I get it, but like I said, man, this Detroit team, this ain't no sucker group, man. This Detroit team is a smash mouth. I think the Ravens are interested in defense at 2,500 on this slate. I just think that the Ravens has been, showing that little they that greedy type of team. I just don't want either side, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a tougher defensive game. I think it's going to be a battle. it's going to be a knuckle type of game. But for me, for fantasy goodness in this game, I'm not seeing it. I know on FanDuel, listen, the Ravens are going to be talked, so that's why I'm going to go elsewhere because that's where a lot of people are going to go to.
Swami, let's talk about that for a second. When I'm looking at tight ends, I say to myself, who can get me 20? Mark Andrews can get me 20. He can. I know it's chalky, but my job is to find contrarian plays maybe elsewhere. Do you agree with Willie? Do you think this? I mean, you know the Ravens better than anybody. Are you staying away from this game? Or are you saying, you know what? I'll play a Lamar, I'll play an Andrews, and then I'll figure out the rest of my lineup?
So there's two things I disagree with Willie with fundamentally. First thing I disagree with him with is that everybody's going to this game. I don't think so. I think this game is a game where most people are going to stay away from because of the way both defenses are playing. First, Detroit is on the road, and then I think the Ravens have shown that they've been playing people pretty tough this year, so they haven't been giving up a whole lot. They've given up one rushing touchdown all year. This defense and the Detroit defense have both been playing well. So everybody isn't running to this game. I don't know where Willie got that from.
No, I'm telling you. Yes, they are. A lot of people are playing this game, especially on FanDuel.
Then Doc, if he makes those type of assertions, he got to say who. Because who is people running the play? I don't see it. I don't see it in the ownership. I don't see it anywhere where they're just all over this game.
I see Lamar at 9% and I see Andrews at 10%. I mean, that's not taking me away from playing now.
No, sir. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Now, and then the other point was just that it's nothing here. First of all, Detroit is playing well. I think well enough on offense where we can show them a little bit of respect. And I think so are the Ravens. But just not enough where I think that this game will probably get up there and go over in points. And for that reason, again, this is one of those things where you can maybe take a piece. I'm not mad at Andrews. I'm not mad if you settle down on a piece on the other side. I will stay away from the guys with the big price tags, just because I don't think they'll hit ceiling games. But I'm not mad at this game. It's going to be one of those games where somebody's going to have to do something, whether it's Flowers, whether it's Andrews, whether it's St. Brown or Laporta. Somebody's going to have to show up.
All right, St. Brown's expensive, and this may not be the go-off game, but you guys haven't mentioned Gibbs. I mean, let me just say, I'm just going to throw this out to you, okay? Gibbs gets 5 catches for 50 yards. We give him 10 points, right? We give him another 40 yards rushing. Nothing crazy. I gave you a pathway to 14 points. If he finds the end zone, you're at 20.
I'd rather play Joe Gibbs.
Well, he was a good player. He was good.
I would play Marla Gibbs.
Room 222. By the way, I went to college with Joe Gibbs' son, JD. May he rest in peace.
Even though I see what that Baltimore ranking is, again, Doc, they've given up, I think, 1 touchdown all year on the ground. They play people really tough, and it's just not a great matchup for Gibbs, who has been a little inconsistent.
All right, let's get to Pittsburgh against the Rams. I think there's I'm confused by this game, okay? I am not playing Zach Evans. I'll let everybody play Zach Evans. I will not be the one doing that. I'm telling you that right now. Pat Freiermuth is not playing. He's out. So I think you're looking at Pickett, who's cheap. Deontay's expected back. Pickens, who kills zone defenses. I want no part of Najee unless you guys talk me out of it. No part of Jalen Warren. On the other side, Stafford's always in play. Puka's always in play. Kupp's always in play. Willie Walls, how are you playing this game?
See, this is interesting. So, if you play, listen. One thing I like about the Rams is very telling. Okay, now, first of all, the team they going against, Pittsburgh, they play mostly zone. So Nuka, he's not a zone type of guy. I mean, this would be Kupp.
Yes, he is.
Now, who? What?
Nakua's a zone guy.
No.
I think you said that.
No. They play a lot of man. I meant to say they play a lot of man. Yeah, they play a lot of man, not zone. And then Nakua, he kills on zones. Now, let me say this though. Now, Cooper Kupp, a lot of people think, and I heard Lisa say they think he's too expensive. I think he's very interesting because the thing that I like about this is, in order for the Rams to be successful, their passing game has to be successful. One thing that, Pittsburgh does is they get killed by number one receivers. All they have to do is Ayuk 8, 129 and 2. Adams 13, 172 and 2. Nico Collins 7, 168 and 2. You understand what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp. And in order for them to be effective, when they're effective, what happens? Cooper Kupp goes off as the number one receiver, and it also correlates to that. That's why I got a little interest in that running back that everybody wants to stay from. This might be a different situation than that situation, because first of all, $4,000. I mean, I don't mind taking a shot and I like the uncertainty of it. You know why? Because we really don't know. But I think one thing I do know is that, he goes against Aaron Donald in practice, and he says he feels pretty comfortable against that blitz. And I'm just telling you, I think this dude is a man of interest. He can run the ball. And I've seen this guy run the ball.
Okay. I'm going to read you what Mike Clay put out. This is from Sean McVay. It said what he's seen from the running backs. I like what I saw from all four of these guys. Darrell Henderson came back in. He's a guy that's going to be up and active this week. He's done a great job of being able to quickly reacclimate himself back to a lot of things we've done. He's taken good care of himself in the meantime. I've been pleased with Royce Freeman. He's smart, conscientious. He's been ready for this opportunity. Zach's a guy that's continuing to learn. And then Myles Gaskin being in Minnesota, being in Miami, there's some familiarity, and he's got a skill set that's intriguing. Zach's a guy that's trying to learn.
What I'm saying is how many times have we heard this coach speak, Doc?
That doesn't feel like coach speak. That feels like this dude is bench speak.
No, I listen. I'm saying I'm going to have a couple of shares of them because you know what? I'm going to take a shot. Because the guy is there. I'm not saying he's not a core, okay, but I'm going to take a shot at this guy. I'm going to take a couple of shots at this guy. I am. I'm going
to take a couple of shots at that guy in the top box over there in a second.
He's already taken a couple of shots. I'm telling you, I would have Michael Evans, James Evans, Florida Evans. I might even have Thelma Evans before I have Zach Evans and a couple of.
I'm telling you, it correlates when Kupp is cooking. So what a running back is cooking. I'm telling you, Kyron Williams, he's going to be the guy that's going to get the first shot. And I'm just saying, so if this guy does something, don't say that. Don't worry, he won't be the balls to the wall call. Don't have to worry about that. But I'm just saying, I'm going to take a shot.
I'm not mad, Doc, that he's talking about the guy at 4,000. But that's the only thing I like about him. Everything else you read.
That's why I'm interested. He's 4,000. That's worth a shot. Hell no, he ain't a free square. Oh, hell no, he's not.
I'd rather have that clown off a saw put me in one of those contracts. Take a dog on shot on Zach Moss. With
all right,
you ready?
I'm playing him in two lineups, but he won't be in my big lineup. But he'll be in two lineups.
Wow.
Well, look, Heat Override said something interesting. He said if the Rams can keep Highsmith and Watt off Stafford, the Rams will eat that secondary up. But as Willie likes to say, if was a fifth, he'd be drunk, right? So, I mean, I don't know whether they could keep Watt and Highsmith off Stafford. I don't know that.
I don't know about that. No, nobody in the league has been able to slow them down so far. So you expect them to get there, but you also expect that the Rams will be able to kind of beat the secondary. So again, I expect that if Pickett could do anything, and I'm talking about on the outside, if Johnson could do anything coming back, then this game will probably have a little bit more back and forth. These games always scare me because I always feel like this is where the kickers are having those great games, 3 and 4 field goals sometimes because of negative plays.
But see, well, what you're not looking at, though, is Pittsburgh give up 4.8 yards per carry. I'm just telling you.
They do. Look, if Kyron Williams was playing, he'd be a lock.
Yeah, I get it. But remember, give Michael Evans from Good Times, give him a shot. Give him a shot. He's going to get the first shot. And if he does well, if he breaks off a run, which he might do in this game.
Do you remember when Thelma married the Chicago Bears football player and JJ tripped him in the aisle and that was the end of his career?
I couldn't stand that light-skinned rascal anyway. Anyway, go ahead. Let's move on.
All right, let's get to it. Arizona and Seattle. This game is one of the 3 games that you're going to want to have a piece of, whether it's Geno Smith, whether it is Mr. Walker, Tyler Lockett totally plays well against zone defenses. Now, DK Metcalf may or may not play. I think he goes. But JSN, the guy I gave you last week, he showed up. What do you think, Swame? Are you a fan of the Seahawks? Do you like any Cardinals, whether it's McBride or whether it's Hollywood? What you doing in this game?
I like the entire Seahawks offense. I could see you could stack it any way you want to stack it. I like the offense. Only your guy Doc is the only person I'm not necessarily throwing in because I typically don't look at third wide receivers unless they are involved to a degree that makes a little bit more sense for me. But everybody else, that's Lockett, that's Metcalf, that's Walker. I would even take probably Font over your guy, but the entire offense to include Geno, I'm interested in against the Cardinals. Now, as far as coming back, I think you can pick a piece, whatever piece you're comfortable with. Moore, Wilson, Ertz. I'm not as interested in the other side, but I like the Seattle side a lot.
Will you like the Seattle side? Are they going to be
I like the
chalky?
Seattle side, but I think this game might. If what I don't like about it is Geno's not gonna win you anything if he just throw you two touchdowns and throw for 200 yards. That ain't gonna win you jack. You understand what I'm saying? You need back and forth. Okay. I don't know if I see this back and forth in this game. And I know one thing about Pete Carroll is once he gets ahead, he can say, you know what, I'm taking the air. You talking about taking the air out the ball? They'll take the air out the ball.
So do you play Kenneth Walker at 30% owned?
Oh yeah. Kenneth Walker is definitely my favorite player of the game. And I agree with Swame that it's great matches, but I don't know if they're going to have to do as much. Now, a guy coming back that I like a lot, that people are not talking about, I think Michael Wilson is an interesting guy coming back.
Good against zones.
Yeah, he is good. He is good against zones, and that's what people don't understand. That's why I love him at that price because I think he will be a man of interest. In this game, to me, is Michael Wilson.
Well, look at this one. Sammy Darling says Wilson 2 touchdowns. Pen click. Look, I was on Wilson last week because he's good against zones. My problem was he was like 3 for 62. So but 9.2 points isn't taking down a tournament. So, but if he finds the end zone, that becomes 15 points, and now we are taking down a tournament.
Yeah, I just think he's definitely a man of interest to me, and I just think they'll be behind it. They'll be throwing the ball, and look, you want that garbage time. So I'm interested in Mike Wilson for sure.
Okay, Chargers against Kansas City. There's a lot going on in this game, guys. A lot. Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift, Pacheco, Rashee Rice. On the other side, Keenan Allen, Eckler, Herbert, Swami. There's a lot going on here. Are you playing your Chiefs? Are you paying up for Mahomes and Kelsey?
Doc, I think they are a play, but I for the fans out there, let me go ahead and just get out there alpha. Not just no, Doc, but hell no. And the reason why is because these jokers are just too doggone expensive. Do I like Kelsey by himself? Absolutely. Do I think Mahomes is in a great spot this week? He sure is. But on the other side, do I like the spot that Keenan Allen is in or Eckler's in? They're okay. I don't like them as much. So what does that mean? We're not really sure how Herbert's going to play against this defense. We're not really sure how much Pacheco or these backs are going to be involved. Something feels uncomfortable about this game. It's worse than Willie's camera right now. Just don't know if we can trust it to be a ceiling game. We know it's going to be a divisional game. We know it's going to be points. We want to watch it. But my game theory on this one, I'm just not confident in. And at these prices, I have to be confident.
Can I ask something that he mentioned here? He goes, Andrews is a better play. I'm good without Mahomes. But let me ask you something strategically, Willie. Can I play Mahomes with Andrews instead of Mahomes and Kelsey?
What I would do, to be honest with you, I love Mahomes in this game. And the reason I like Mahomes is the fact that, Dak Prescott looked good last week. Okay? The Chargers have been a sieve. All right? So I'm going to tell you something. I think it's a way to be different, that you can go different in this game. And I'm going to tell you the one guy I like a lot in this game. Of course, you like Pacheco. Pacheco is definitely a play. But you love the fact that I like Hardman. I think Hardman is coming back to, he's 3,200. Okay. All right. You say that. I like Rice. Listen. I think they're going to script. They brought him back, right? I think they're going to script a couple of plays for him in the beginning. Remember how he does sweeps and he does all this other kind of stuff for Kansas City? I'm just telling you, they brought him back for a reason. They brought him back for a reason. I just think that he's a very interesting guy to me. I mean, I like Rashid Rice. I was all on Rice, and then I started thinking about Hartman. I said, why did they bring this guy back? Why did they bring
Yeah,
him
but you
back?
know why you bring him back? Can he be their kickoff and punt guy and like their fifth receiver? And Justin Watson's got a dislocated elbow.
Yeah, I know, but I just think he's going to get some shots. And I think this.
But figure Watson went down walls. The Jets weren't using him. He was becoming one of the guys for him. He knows the offense. He knows the quarterback.
Right.
The guy played there for years. It makes sense that they would go back and get him and that he would be involved. Maybe not this week. And
that's why I think this week he knows the offense.
Yeah, but how many targets is he going to get his first?
Yeah, the point being, see, this is
as many as 2 last week, Swami.
Yeah, listen, though, 2 was doo-doo, but y'all had some doo-doo too. So shut your mouths up. I'm
and
listen, but hold up. See, listen, I'm willing to take shots. And I'm just telling you, this guy right here, Hardman, is worth the shot. 3,200. See, everybody's going to be on him afterwards. If he has one of those games, guess what? Then everybody will come back and get him. You get him.
Okay, and I think Doc is too with calculated risk. But what you're calling taking shots sounds like a guy in a bar.
No. I'm just telling you. Listen, I love Rashid Rice. I think Hardman's going to make Rice better because Rice is going to be able to go on the outside where he's in the slot. I love Rashid Rice, but I'm just telling you, I just think that the way they play this game, I think I don't mind having a Hardman Kelsey stack. I don't mind that.
Dude, if I'm having a stack, why can't I just do Mahomes, Pacheco, and Kelsey?
Yes. Yeah, that's what everybody else is doing, sir.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. You're missing the look. I don't have to be contrarian everywhere. I just need to be contrarian in one place.
Listen, I like
one place.
I told you I like Mahomes. I'm playing Mahomes. Swame's not playing Mahomes. I am. Yeah, I'm playing him over Jackson. I'm playing Mahomes.
I like that stat. And I think Mahomes is a play. I just don't like his price.
All right, let's get to this last game here. Green Bay at Denver. I said Green Bay is like watching Oprah. Denver's like watching Oprah. You get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown. You got Jordan Love, who hasn't looked great, but Christian Watson is back. Aaron Jones is back. Luke Musgrave, and probably one of the best opportunities of the weekend here, Swami. Can Denver do enough to make Green Bay do more?
I think it was the great Brian McKnight that once said, "Give me love, 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 crazy love." I love the Broncos, and I love Jordan Love this week because I think he's in a great spot. I think we might even get a little bit of back and forth, but at a minimum, we know that they're going to be able to move the ball up and down the field against our Broncos defense. And even though Aaron Jones is back, and that could mean that he gets, one of those touchdowns we're looking for Love to run in, I think it's enough here to go around. You got to like the prices. Nobody's extremely overpriced. Watson's in a good spot. I'm not mad at Mr. Musgrave. I'm not even mad at A.J. Dillon. I think everybody's in play on that side. And here's the reason why. Because this is one of those games, even though he has been absolutely he is in a spot where he can get those touchdowns, or he's in there late because Jones is still kind of making his way back in the second half, and then he's just getting an extra 10, 12 carries. They just running the clock out. It's just that type of game theory. But as far as on the Denver side, when you look at the prices of Judy and Sutton, you have to like one of these guys coming back, especially with the fact that we know Wilson is going to be in there down, slinging it the whole way. So I'm very interested in this game.
Willie, are you interested in this game? Because I love the Packers side.
I love the Packers side, but I'm going to be different. I'm not going to be on as Watson. I think Surtain's going to be on Watson. I think Dobbs will be the guy. I like Dobbs this game. I think Dobbs will be the guy. Oh, and he just coming off that clunker, a stinker that he just had. I think he's in a perfect bounce back spot. And of course, I love that tight end. Denver gives up against the tight ends. Now I'm not sure about who to come back on. Denver side. I don't really. And see, this is why I think that you can play Kelsey. I like Kelsey a lot going against, because I know I want to get a tight end that I know is going to get the points. But I think Love is one of those guys you could play in the Kelsey lineup. So you could play Love at this price. One of these quarterbacks like Geno. You could play somebody down or Howell or anybody like that, and and get
That's
the
how you
same.
get Kelsey.
Yep. You know what I mean? Because I like, you could play Kelsey and Pacheco by themselves, and you don't have to have Mahomes. You could do stuff like that.
All right, Willie, I gave you the $100 bill. Where's the stack going?
On the $100 bill, where the stack is going, I tell you what, I think, like I said, people are not looking at they are not looking at the Commanders game. I think as long as the win is there, I think the Commanders are very interesting. I think Hal McLaurin, coming back with Robinson, I think that's that's in play. And I also think that you can I also think that you can go to the Kansas City game. What is that Kansas City, not the San Diego receiver, the second receiver? What's his
Josh
name?
Palmer?
Josh Palmer. Listen, he has been close, and he's had balls turned over and all that kind of stuff. But I think Pacheco, Kelsey coming back with Josh Palmer will be an interesting stack point too.
All right, Swami, where's your stack going?
So, Doc, as you know, I'm not going to give the fans Kansas City in the charge. I won't do that. That's amateur. All right. I am going with the Seattle Arizona game. And I'm going to take my guy, Geno, Walker, and I'm going to even say Metcalf and come back with Wilson.
That's what the hell is that? That's talking. Get out of here. Are you kidding me?
You want me to...
less people playing the Kansas City game. You're playing chalk. Scratch the board. Scratch the board. You are chalk.
Let me go.
You are chalk, sir.
Chalk. Let me go one more. All right, now give me Aaron Jones, give me Love, and give me Watson coming back against Sutton.
And you're going to talk about me, and you going, man, side of your neck, sir. Anyway, go.
By the way, it is Lockett. I love Lockett this week. All right, I'm going to do the stack that Willie doesn't want to do because Willie thinks it's doo-doo, but I don't think it's doo-doo. I'm going to go Lamar. I'm going to go Andrews, and I'm going to bring it back with Gibbs. And you know what? I'll figure it out from there. I think Gibbs we've been hearing about this generational talent. I haven't seen it yet, but it's not like it can't happen. So maybe it happens. All right, Willie, the balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. Who do you got?
Two of them. Michael Wilson of Arizona and Mr. Hardman of Kansas City.
All right, he's a hard man to listen to, Swami. The Swami says what?
Doc, Swami says, please listen to Walls. Balls through the walls with caution. That's what Swami says this week. But Doc, with all seriousness, I'm thinking Walls kind of already tipped the hand by mentioning Kendrick Bourne this week because I had some interest in Mr. Kendrick Bourne, but because Walls has tainted his memory, has tainted just the whole play, I got to go in a different direction. So I think this week, Doc, the Swami says pick of the week.
Say it. I got to get ready to go to work. Say it.
Say it.
Say it. Say it.
The Swami says pick. I'm going to go with Drake London.
Okay. All right. Swami says Drake London. The visionary pick of the week. There's a few. I agree. Heat Override says it's Kenneth Walker. Yes, I like him.
Yeah, come on, man. Anybody can pick that. Yeah.
I like Jerome Ford this week. Kareem Hunt's not 100%. I don't know. I just have a feeling that people are going to overlook him. Give me little Walker, Gibbs, and Ford, and I think I might be doing all right there.
We all love Walker.
We all love Walker. You can't if you don't like Walker, maybe you should find a different hobby.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. All right. For Doc, Willie, and Swami, we say be well and
take care.
Get out the insurance cards. Get out the code. Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.